Hey gang, and welcome to Sweet Willy's Kitchen. New year, new decade, all these things. Now, this time of year, there's a phenomenon that happens in the food world. Number one, if you watch your big food channels, all you're going to hear about is your healthy eating, and you'll see the bicycles and all that other great stuff until January 31st. February 1st, Valentine's Day, back to chocolate. So we're just going to sit tight for the next 4 weeks when everybody starts talking about diets and all that other good stuff. But while we're on the subject of making things leaner and simpler, make sure you subscribe, hit the notifications button, and you will always get our up-to-date videos. I am making a concerted effort this year to make at least one video a week for us to enjoy. So let's get to this. And I was giving some thought about this as I was cleaning up or just straightening up after the holidays, and it had to do with the enormity of the things that we collect in our kitchen. So this is going to be one of a two-part series. The first one is taking a look at my top 12 kitchen tools. All right. Now I'm going to preface this by saying we're taking out any pots, pans, all those other things, because that's a whole different thing, and that's going to get on the next show. So be tuned in for that one. But what really spurred this on was the fact that I was going through my drawers, and I found out I got 4 waffle irons. I don't need 4 waffle irons, right? So we started to figure what is essential in a kitchen. I'm going to give you my top 12 kitchen tools, all right? And feel free to comment. This is going to spur on a lot of things, so please comment down below, and we're going to do our best to answer each and every one. We'll start the conversation up. First thing is a good cutting board. Now on this side, we've got a 2-sided cutting board. And I picked this up my local, what do you call it, warehouse store. It's about 1.5 inches thick. Nice hard wood. It's got the channel here for my my juices if I'm cutting any meats in the so, and also a flat side. So it's a double side. It's got a handle on it, and I know this was relatively inexpensive. In fact, this was one of the first things I bought when I started Sweet Willy's Kitchen. So, and you guys are probably familiar with this one here. This is the stage. So we're gonna start with that. So number 1 is a double-sided wood cutting board. There's plenty of other wooden, you've got your plastic, and I've got piles of them sitting here. But in most cases, 1 or 2 is just enough. Number 2, and I'm not putting these in order of, there's not going to be any order of importance. We're just going with the 12, and I'm just grabbing them here. The next thing is wooden tools, wooden kitchen tools, scrapers, spoons, big spoons. So those of you who grew up in the 70s remember the wooden spoon. Okay, and why are these important? Why is because they'll work on both a stainless steel and a non-stick pan. So very versatile. Number 3, the good old whisk. Once again, we try to go non-metallic, although there's some purists out there that want to go metallic, but we want to go non-metallic so we can use them on both stainless steel and non-stick. Number 4, a good spatula. All right, once again, non-metallic spatula, so we could use this on both. See, you're starting to get the, starting to pick up on the, how do I put this? Trying to pick up on the theme here. We want versatility. So the more versatile, the less stuff you need to carry. Number 5, measuring cups, okay? Every good recipe has measurements. A cup of this, a 1/2 teaspoon of this. So we put these, we have them joined. Everything's in a nice ring here. Again, I'm not promoting a brand or whatever, but look at these. These are space savers, and very versatile. These go up, I'm going up to, I believe, a 1/2 teaspoon to a tablespoon on these. And these go from a 1/4 cup all the way to a cup. Again, you need more cups, more scoops. There we go. Number 6 is a box grater, good old-fashioned box grater, right? You can grate your cheeses, you can grate your vegetables, okay? Nice, safe. It's good for zesters, so you don't have to buy one of those crazy zesters. And if you're pretty good at it, you could actually use this for slicing. Grating, zesting, grating cheeses, very versatile. Boom. Number 7, can opener. Now I know, oh, it's a can opener. Yeah, try opening up a can without one. There you go. So, the simple can opener. Use a good one with a good handle on it and a nice twisty jobby. We'll call it a twisty jobby. And change them out once every 5 or 6 years. So, next one, getting back to hand tools, is a good old-fashioned corkscrew with bottle opener and little knife thing. Little knife things used to cut the top off of the wine bottle. So again, versatile. You only need one of these guys. So very, very good to be in the kitchen. Yeah, but if you don't drink wine, well, then you don't need one. Next one, tongs. Okay, once again, we're going with the non-metallic tongs. Okay, use them for how? Both the stainless steel and the non-stick. And they're going to be good for flipping, and again, you're basic, and in some cases you're doing your stirring. Extremely versatile, and maybe 1 or 2 of them is all you need in your kitchen. Okay, I know I'm a big culprit. I've got let's see, more than I care to admit to. So, all right, the next one, and I know this one might spur a debate, but I like this just because of the ease and the quickness, and this is the good old slap chopper, okay? We're cutting just about anything, and we could go from a hard chop to a mince to a fine paste, if you would, with this, depending on how many times. But this goes 1, 2, I just find it to be one of the most versatile things there to have in the kitchen, and sure, we could use, the next item we'd be able to use, but this just for speed, it does it. So, the next item we're talking about is actually 2. Okay, and there's a lot of arguments going on this one, but we're gonna just break this up in 2. The first of the 2 is a good chef's knife. Okay, it doesn't have to be very expensive, but a good chef's knife. And ask yourself, when you see a kit with the this and the Santa Cruz and all those other kind of knives out there, you ask yourself, do you really use it? So this is my go-to. This does just about everything. When I'm slicing down meat from a bone, when I'm slicing down the steak after I'm done cooking it, there you go. Once again, a little tip. Take a look at what you normally cook, all right? And find out what the tools that are used. And if you're on the fence, try them both and see what you're most comfortable with. Number 2 in this set is a serrated knife, okay? This is a good bread knife, okay? A serrated knife is good for your breads, your tomatoes, and other things with a real smooth skin. Peppers, they have a smooth skin on them, and also your breads. Also, I've used this as a cake spatula to put a ridge on it. So, when talking about knives, these basically are the only 2 knives that you're really going to need. And last, but certainly not least, and this falls in the same category as accuracy, ensuring that your food tastes good, is a good meat thermometer. I use an oven thermometer here. That way, when I'm doing something on the grill or the oven, I could put this in maybe about 3/4 the way and wait for the temperature. Okay, so there you go. There's my 12. All right, and just to review those 12, we've got our double-sided cutting board, our wooden utensils, our non-metallic whisk, we've got our non-metallic spatulas, we've got our measuring cups, we've got our tongs, we've got our can opener, we've got our slap chopper, we've got our multi-purpose bottle opener, we have our box grater. We have our 2 knives. And last but not least, our good old meat thermometer. So that's my 12. And I'm sure there may be 1 or 2 that might be in that list, and I'd love to hear about them. So once again, for my kitchen and everybody else around, hope you're having a great day, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.